Hey friends from Mount Vernon, thank you. I'm making a quick video to sort of take a look back at what we did earlier in the week and then lay the groundwork for the work that you guys are going to be doing on Friday. So let me look back first. I'm reflecting. Thank you for the great exit tickets, really helpful feedback. And I know that one push we got is people want to see a lesson. And we've done some great videotaping this week at East, a kinder, a third, and a fourth grade lesson. So hopefully those mini lessons and conferences and share times will be someplace where you'll get a chance to see your Mount Vernon kids in action sooner rather than later. So besides that, I also just want to reinforce a couple big ideas from our time together. The first is that I hope no one was woken up in the middle of the night and someone said, what's the structure of workshop? But if that did happen, that you would be like, there's 3 parts, a mini lesson, where there's that really explicit teaching and you're comfortable saying to the kids, you know, all eyes on me. This is my time to help you become a stronger writer, and being super explicit about that teaching point. Then comes work time. That's the second part where you're building independence, and kids sooner rather than later will become in all different places in their writing work. You'll get to see that a little bit in the video as well. Mini lesson, work time, last comes share time. We got to build that share time in, otherwise kids get the message that they're writing for us instead of writing for their writing community, which means they're connecting as partners, having the chance, not pick one name out of the jar and 1 kid shares and 20 kids listen or 24 kids listen. It really becomes that intimate work that kids are doing with each other on the regular. Mini lesson, work time, share time. Okay, so we had time for professional reading when we were together. Sometimes that piece is called the non-negotiables or the bottom lines, but I recently went back to my notes and recognized that Lucy really calls those the essentials. One of which is writing for real audiences, right? But that one of the pieces that she threads through there, and this is going to kick us into our forward work, is the idea that writers deserve to be working on really clear goals, and they need frequent feedback to get better. And the work that you're doing around pathways is really going to help you live that essential. So speaking of pathways, we unpacked the units, right? And you found out every kit comes with these spiral bound books. These are the actual units with the teaching in them, the mini lessons, the suggestions for the conferencing in small groups, and the guidance on share time. But you also found out that there are these smooth bound books, and boy, there's a little bit to put together right here, and I'm just gonna name it again. Writing pathways, oh, look. Also right here in my computer, writing pathways, right? In the online resources that you can see. Which writing pathways is which writing pathways? So I'm gonna give a little bit of insight on the spiral bound book when we wrap up, but I do just wanna name that, this smooth bound book, the professional text that comes with your units of study, has a teeny bit more than the big spiral bound book because this assumes you're implementing the units. So it does take you into that connectedness, whereas this writing pathways book can stand alone apart from the units. So that's an advantage sometimes, but right now you've got the advantage of having the whole unit in your hand. But I'm going to do a shout out, as I did when we were together, for the online tools as well, because this is the home for the creme de la creme, both the rubrics, the checklists, and those beautifully illustrated checklists, which can just make such a difference in sort of having just a tiny visual for kids of what the expectations are. But no matter what, no matter which resource we're digging into, we know that we use consistent language. We're digging into those 3 genres. I know you're looking at narrative right now on your on-demand, and you're looking at criteria that grows. This is a systemic approach to instruction. It's not like one year we're using a special checklist from Pinterest, and another year a teacher downloads something from TPT, and then someone else has something that they've been copying for years and years. No, this disrupts that and puts this systemic approach. You heard Lucy talk about it in the video that we watched, that we're building that year after year system of of writing for kids. Okay, so you did that on-demand narrative writing, and it's hard to sort of say to third graders, you know, write a story and shows me what's in your heart. And your kids are like, oh, I'm really just focused on beginning, middle, and end. And you're psyched if somebody's really got authentic problem and solution. It's okay, we're gonna catch our breath, right? And I'm gonna name just a couple things that you should expect to get out of this Writing Pathways book as your team works together. First, I'm gonna go into the text, and perhaps you guys are doing some writing today, but I'm gonna pull this quote that really resonates with me from the very first page. The checklists in here, the tools that we use as educators, are not only designed to lift the level of student writing, these tools from the team at Teachers College are designed to lift the level of our teaching. And that's a great reminder for us. These aren't tools to assess, to get, you know, stapled onto a piece of work and tucked away. These are tools to improve what we do with our students and for our students each day as we plan mini lessons, as we conference with them, as we design small group instruction, even as we decide what should be happening in our share. So I love that quote, and I love that this is assessment to help guide my work. And yes, it's going to guide my students too. It's going to help them set goals and understand expectations. But boy, this is a charge for us. This is really professionalizing the work we do as teachers of writing. So I'm going to pop all the way then to page 25, you know, digging into this section right before it talks about what the work of the norming meeting is like. And Lucy gives us a charge here to look at student work and discuss it with specificity. And I really love that word. You guys see my puppy behind me? Let's talk about specificity. This charge to look at our students' writing and keep that checklist or the rubric close to us. And as we talk, dig in, pen in hand, to make sure that as we look for evidence that kids are achieving or making progress, even not yet achieving, that we're talking about it with really exact language and really exact evidence. And that pops me to my last piece, which is a big, you know, a warning, not a red light warning, a yellow light warning, that as you start these meetings where you're getting together and norming up, please expect to disagree with each other and embrace the beauty of that, where you are going to look at a piece of student work and really together as a team say, like, I don't see that there, or, you know, I do see it. Let me show you the 3 places where I think I see strong elaboration, and have these conversations that allow us to really know who our kids are as writers. It'll reflect right back on us in, man, what can I do to support this writer next, or support this group of writers, or support my class of writers? And as you dig into the work that you're doing with Pathways, there will be moments of stickiness, but the other side of that are the moments of truth, where you're learning more about the kids and in turn digging in deeply to what you can be doing as well. I'm gonna just preview us for these last 30 seconds, the what we can be doing as well. So I hope that at the end of this time together, you are inspired to say, you know what? I want to implement one of these units. I'm gonna have a go at doing it with some fidelity. Dig into that spiral bound book, email, or have someone from the team email me if you're like, where should we go? What should we do? I'm going to do a quick shout out for the for the kindergarten team doing the how-to unit. I already celebrated that when we were together on Monday night. And really love that piece of creating kindergartners who know that they're informational text writers. There's a really beautiful baby literary essay unit for 3rd, and totally appropriate for 4th grade to be using as well if you want to get kids writing literary essays ahead of the state test. And it does such a great job of saying, hey, the test isn't the only reason we do this. We do this because we care about what we've read and we want to share it. So lots of good and important work ahead of you, and I hope that it leads to you opening up that spiral bound book, maybe watching some of the videos that we made this week at East, and thinking, you know, how can I tackle putting together 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 of these bends in a way that, see, you never know the specificity of a dog playing with a dog toy in the middle of a video. Pull out those spiral bound units and make a good decision about the bend or even the whole unit that you might tackle to help dig into a genre and help create real writers in your classroom that are writing with purpose and passion and energy, not to turn a paper in, but to communicate their brilliance to the world. So good luck today, TGIF. I know it's going to be a terrific day of learning together.